now, a man with giant areolas, Mike Taylor.
Yes. We're back, bitches. We're back again, man. How you boys doing? It is another one of these Taylor podcasts called Mike Taylor Live, as we do this live from San Antonio, Texas. Deep South Texas in my favorite town. It is Taylor. Welcome in here again. We have a lot to do today. It is a violent Wednesday. It is People I Want to Punch Wednesday. Who do you want to punch and why? We'll get into that here in a little bit. We'll figure out this show after we have our first guest, but I am excited about today's show because, and it's just been the last couple of years or so that I've gotten into bull riding. And last year we had one of our partners on this show was the Austin Gamblers. The Austin Gamblers were one of our. We had Michael Gaffney on. We had JJ Gotch on, their CEO. We had a couple of bull riders on last year. They came down and had their big party at Chicken and Pickle, and we had guys on the team last year. And I just really got into bull riding for a kid growing up in Fort Worth, Texas. I was aware, obviously, of rodeo and had gone to rodeos as a kid in Fort Worth, but I'd never seen bull riding live until last year, which was stupid for a kid from Fort Worth that I'd never actually gone out and watched bull riding, but actually did last year once we got into the gamblers scene. And then, the professional bull riders, they decided to open up that team series that they started doing last year. And so that was great, and then the season came, and we went up to Austin. We watched the Gambler Days, and we went and watched bull riding. LG went with us. He got fried on mushrooms, and we got drunk, and we had a good night watching bull riding. And then the season ended, and it was fine. And I kind of forgot about bull riding for a month or two because and all of a sudden the football season was in the middle, and it was great. And all of a sudden I find out that Amazon Prime had been rolling the whole time. I didn't know. All season last year, even the Gambler Days that we went to up in Austin, Lawrence, they were rolling for a docuseries.
No one told me.
And man, once I found out that was a thing, we watched it. Me and Nina, my girlfriend, we watched it. We watched all of it in about 3 days' time. I couldn't stop watching it. Hell, I almost missed work because I just wanted to watch the next show in the series. And all of a sudden now this new season's back up and running right after they dropped the series on Amazon Prime. And it's bull riding season, man. We got training camp and football season's about to start, but we're in bull riding season. So I thought with them coming back to Austin next weekend, we thought, hell, let's go get one of these kids on, and we got a guy on with us today who was on our live radio show last year, but making his debut on this podcast, I think, is a young writer by the name of Austin Richardson, who's on with us from your house in the Dallas area, right? Just outside Dallas.
Sir.
What town?
Yes,
well,
sir.
I'm from Fort Worth. So where exactly do you live outside of Dallas?
Wilmer Hutchins.
Mm-hmm.
Right off of 45.
Okay, cool. You got a ranch up there, don't you? Don't you have don't you have your own?
So my grandparents, they have a ranch here, and it's got probably 125 acres, and then I got another probably 15 acres right beside them.
Okay, very cool. All right, so some of those acres, did you already have them before you started riding professionally, or riding professionally help you buy some of those other acres?
So my grandparents have always owned all these 3 properties since I was a kid, and
that's awesome, man.
Eventually I did get enough money where I did buy one of the houses from my grandparents, and so
cool.
Now I have my own place.
Okay, so let's just get into that. That's pretty kick-ass. So, like, your grandparents already had this property, this ranch. So you grew up there. You were going to be a cowboy in some form. You had no other journey in life but to be a cowboy because of your influence as a kid.
Yeah, cowboy. Ranching was always around me. We have horses and stuff, but believe it or not, I used to race motocross when I was a kid and a little skateboarder kid. I didn't really think I was going to be a full-on bull rider, but plans changed when I turned about 13. A couple of my friends got me into it, and then as soon as I turned 18, I went to the PBR, and Here I am now.
See, I stereotyped you right off the top. I just assumed you grew up wrangling on ranches and stuff, picking up hay and horse crap and working on. So it's like, But you said you were a skater kid? What, did you have some long hairdo or something, skating around the streets of Dallas in ugly clothes? What were you doing?
I mean, I love skateboarding, and man, they got these cool little scooters that would go to the skate parks, man. I used to love that when I was a kid, and,
All right. You just do
kind
dangerous
of,
stuff.
yeah, adrenaline junkie for sure.
I was going to say, so have you been, you were just born that way. Is that in your all's family? Do you have motocross people that are in your family? You got bull riders in family, or you're the weird kid that just wanted to do a bunch of dangerous stuff?
So my pretty much my whole family, they raced when they were young. Dirt bikes, jet skis, four wheelers,
Okay.
everything you can imagine. And my dad, he raced professionally in dirt bike racing, so I
Yeah.
figured I was going to be a dirt bike racer for sure.
Okay. Well, so why the hell did you decide to start riding bulls? It almost seems like that might be more dangerous than riding motorcycles.
Yeah, I don't know. Just a couple of my friends got me into it, and I covered my bull for 8 seconds the first time when I started riding, and I just loved it and didn't want to do nothing else.
So wait, your first ride, you rode it to 8?
Yeah, I got on a few calves and sheeps and stuff like that when I was a kid,
Uh-huh.
uh, and then kind of quit for a little bit, and then out of nowhere, just a couple of my buddies got me into it, and I covered that first one again, and then it was on from there.
Good Lord, man. All right. Well, look, congratulations on like being drafted and being on the team and everything. And, last year it was all so new for everybody, even for guys like Jose who have been riding for a while and some of the older guys, to be on a team in a team series. And for those that don't know, the PBR decided last year well, it was years in the making. They now have teams where they draft new guys every year. And they drafted from scratch last year, and Austin got picked up by the Gamblers and was a part of their team last year. But you've become even, you've got a bigger role this year, clearly, and you had a hell of a weekend this past weekend. So being a young bull rider, then you get picked up by the team. What's been some of the biggest differences from year one and everything being so new to fast forward to now, where you kind of gotten used to it? How have you adjusted, man, and gotten used to being on a team and doing it in this format?
Yeah, I mean it's totally different for sure because we're usually riding for ourselves, and now we're riding for a whole team, and if you buck off, you're bucking off for your team. So I mean, you want to do as best as you can and hold yourself accountable. But man, I think it's really growing the sport and growing me as an individual for sure. Like hanging around Jose and all those guys, Lucas and Ramon, and just seeing how different their culture is and how they ride and how they go about things. I think the team deal is really, really stepping up my game. It's really getting my fundles and my just my confidence booster for sure. Being around
Yeah.
them guys and hanging out with Jose, man, it's just I'm really blessed for this opportunity to be on this team, especially the Austin Gamblers. They take care of us and they make sure we have everything that we need and we work hard and push ourselves to be the best and I feel like that's why we're number one right now.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned Jose. For those that don't know, in bull riding, he's just known as Jose because he's the Michael Jordan or whatever the hell you want to call him at bull riding, and he's on the Gamblers.
Yeah.
Jose Vitor Leme, he's got a ranch up in North Texas. He's a Brazilian guy, but he's probably he's the best guy in the world doing this. And for you to be working with him on his team, I mean, God, you probably couldn't have been a better organization for you to get drafted by, just because, like you said, of how big league they are. Then they wind up having him on the team, and then all of it now. And it's funny because your roles increased too now, so there's more pressure on you, I think, because okay. So I've got buddies that didn't know anything about PBR, saw the docu-series, which I want to talk about here in a minute, and now like I had a buddy who texted me this morning, that kid you're going to have on sacked up this week, so. So you had to. Let's play. This is your last ride this weekend. This is Austin right now. The other day, with them, talk about them needing you to post a score. There's pressure here, man. Tell me about this ride here to help win.
There was a lot of pressure there. I mean, the other team, Kansas City Outlaws, we rode a bull, they rode a bull, and it came down to the last bull. I was actually I wasn't even supposed to get on. We got a rewrite as a team, and Coach Gaffney, he put me in, and so and I was the last guy out, and we had to have that qualified. We had to have that qualified ride to win the event and go on to the bonus round.
Look how
And
proud Gaffney is there staring at you. He's so damn happy.
oh yeah, he was. And
Well, so
I was
go
glad I
ahead.
could come in clutch. I could come in clutch at the very end because I haven't really been putting it together for the team, and to come in there and score 89, and I think it was a quarter points, man. That was awesome. Man, we went to the bonus round and ended up winning the event. It was all great.
Dude, that's all. Congratulations, man. Hell of a ride. Look at that. So,
Thank you.
are you the youngest guy on the squad?
So we do have Court. I think his name's Court McFadden.
Hmm.
He's on our practice squad. I think he's
Okay.
19 or 18, but no,
Okay.
I'll probably be the second youngest for sure.
It's funny because obviously there's, in the NBA, you get up to be about 32, 33, 34, you start retiring. Football, even
Yeah,
younger. This is a sport here where, I mean, this is a young man's game. Like Michael Gaffney's a former world champion, your coach, but and he did it for a long ass time. I just can't imagine that your body can take this, and you don't know any better because you're young still. So it's like, so
yeah.
how long can you do it on this level? Is 10
Uh,
years, is that considered a long time? Like,
there's
can you
guys
do
that
10 years?
there there's guys. I think the oldest right now is like 45 or something like
Damn.
that has been riding, but I don't want to be riding that long. I want to be probably retired before I'm 30.
Yeah.
I'm
Make as much money as you can, get all that adrenaline out of your system and do something else.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, man.
I know I'm gonna hate to quit, but I don't want to be doing it for the rest of my life. Especially like you said, it's gonna put a toll on our body, and we only have a short span to do this. So.
Yeah, while you're healthy. What? Okay, and I hate to. Of course, me being me, I'm going to ask about hearts. Like, probably never like to talk about injuries. Have you? What's the worst injury you've had so far? Because
So
you
this
will get
past,
hurt again. That's a guarantee. Y'all, at some point, you're going to
oh
get
yeah,
hurt. It's just way that's part of it. You're going to get hurt again, probably.
exactly. Yeah, there's no way getting around that. But
Yeah.
no, this past year I was in Los Angeles, California for
Hmm.
an individual season event, and unfortunately I got bucked off and got stomped right here in my gut, and
Oh,
I partially collapsed my lung and bruised like 4 or 5 ribs, but that's probably my worst injury. I did have surgery on my collarbone. As bad as that partially collapsed lung, that was pretty difficult.
dude. So obviously you got the jacket on, but a beast that heavy,
Yeah.
they're going to hurt. If you get, you just no way you can. You're gonna have some injury if you're not wearing a vest, man. I can't even imagine how much worse that might be if you're not wearing a
Uh,
vest, dude.
it probably puts you in a wheelchair or
Yeah.
worse.
Good lord,
Yeah.
man. Well, all right. So, okay, we obviously cover a lot of sports here, and guys get hurt, and there's always a mental thing you have to overcome when you're rehabbing. Like a guy blows his knee out or breaks a foot or something. You got to have that mental confidence to get back out onto the court or onto the field. Once you've been stomped by a bull and you get hurt, how much of that, and obviously there's the physical toll and the rehab, how much of it, or if any, maybe you're just crazy, maybe you're just a crazy kid and didn't have any fear. Was there a confidence you had to build back after getting hurt like that to get back up there and keep going?
So I mean, you know it could happen again as soon as you get back on. And
Hmm.
I try to put it behind me. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I do it for the love of the sport, and I mean, I put my all in everything that I do. So I'm
Dude.
not really too worried about it. I mean, sometimes it is in the back of your mind, especially if somebody gets hurt right before you go, and it's always there. I mean, people can say it's not, but it
Yeah.
for sure is always there in the back of your mind.
What do you think about the docu-series? Because I think y'all probably gotten a lot of fans just because of that dang docu-series that don't
Yeah.
know anything about the sport. So you have to forgive us all for trying to learn on the fly. But it really has, I think, it's elevated the sport. Obviously, what did you think about the docu-series and your role in it and all that kind of thing? Have you had like more attention come your way? I'm assuming you have because of that.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. I mean, it is bringing fans to the sport.
Hmm.
It really shows the scenes and what goes on in the background instead of just the bull riding. there's a lot to go into it, and I think it really brought people to the sport for sure. And they can kind of see how we go about.
Like, this is a bunch of cowboys that are wranglers during the week, and they're getting hammered every night and drinking and all that. This is legit, especially with y'all being on a team now. It's almost y'all get trained and y'all go through physical stuff just like any other sport, man. So have you always, before you joined the team, when you were just doing it individually, have you always, like, what has the training, like, what was your training like when it was just you versus now you're on a team? Is it different or the same?
I would say it's kind of similar to the same. I was always a guy, for sure, working out and putting all I can into it because I've always looked at it. Whatever you put into it, you're gonna get out of it. So I've always worked out, and but coming in with a team that's helped me out a whole lot more because me working out by myself. I mean, it doesn't really motivate me sometimes, but
Yeah.
when a team's there and everybody's behind your back, I mean, it pushes you to be better more for sure.
Yeah. All right. So how do y'all, obviously the team, you mentioned Austin does a damn good job of marketing the team, and they take care of y'all. It just looks big time. I mean, I'm sure the other teams, I don't know how it is like in Kansas City or Fort Worth or Arizona, but it just seems like the Austin organization, I mean, they're like the Yankees. It's just as far as like they're in the innovation, they have the training staff, the stuff that they put y'all through. It's pretty big time. So as far as the marketing, they do a damn good job of marketing their team too, I think, versus against the other teams in the series. What do you do individually to market yourself? Because like you said, you still have your individual season too. Are you heavy on, I mean, you're a young man. Are you heavy on social media? Do you do appearances? How do you do all that?
Yeah, so I mean, I try to do or I try to post most social media, try to keep people involved with my career and
Mm-hmm.
and all my bull rides and stuff. But I just honestly try to let my bull ride and do the showing for me. I don't really try to push too much and worry
Mm-hmm.
about social media and stuff like that. Some people are, and I feel like it kind of gets in the way of their career. And so, and I have agents, and they set me up with interviews and autograph signings and stuff like that to put myself out there and get me sponsored. And that's great that from just being a little kid and coming up now and I'm 23 years old and riding professionally and just my image pays me money, so that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, man. All right, and your name's
Yeah.
Austin, and you ride for Austin. I mean, just couldn't. And you're young and decent looking kid, a Texan. It was a good pick. I mean, just from a marketing standpoint, picking you was smart. But obviously, you showed you can ride too this past weekend. All right, every Wednesday on this show, it's called People I Want to Punch Wednesday. And it's not for real, but it's like if there's one person in the world you could punch today, like someone who's pissed you off, like something like people will punch, this a-hole in traffic cut me off, or I want to punch, Dak Prescott because he sucks, whatever. If you could punch somebody in the world right now and get away with it, who would it be and why?
It would have to be actually probably two of my teammates.
Okay, who and why?
Uh, well, me and Jose Victor Lime, we got some beef for sure. We have fun. We talk a bunch of crap to each other. So yeah,
Okay.
I love to just smack him one time.
Okay, yeah. All right, well, do you think you could take him in a fight, though? That'd be a good fight to
Well,
watch y'all do.
that'd be a great fight. We've always talked about it. But no, so we were at the UFC camp deal in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we actually got to train with this Brazilian fighter.
Oh,
Honestly forgot her name, but
yeah.
me and Jose did have a square up there, and unfortunately he did win. He missed that, but
Well, that's a different kind of fighting. Have you ever even gotten in a fight? I'm telling you right now, so you're not the biggest guy on the planet, but if I'm in a bar or anywhere and I find and you and I are like arguing or whatever, we just have some beef. Then I find out you're a bull rider. That's it. We're done. I'm out. I give up. I'm not going to fight a damn bull rider just because y'all are just freaking tough. I could probably hit you 20 times and you might not even fall. Have you ever had a fight? Have you had a street fight as an adult man?
no, not as an adult. When I was a
You
kid,
don't have to. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm not much of a fighter. I'm a lover, and I don't try to get into nothing like that. But
All right, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you popping on with us and doing this. And I wanted to have have you on because y'all are in Nashville this week, I think it is. And then
Yes,
next weekend, though, back in Austin. So the way they do it in the series is every weekend they pick a city where one of the teams is hosted. And Austin's go-around, for lack of a better phrase, is next week up at Moody Coliseum. So, man, good luck. Congratulations so far, and keep it up. And y'all are obviously doing great as a team, too, and you are now individually. So, man, keep it up, and I appreciate the time. Austin, thank you, man.
I appreciate y'all.
All right, cool. All right, there he is, Austin Richardson. Thanks, LG, for setting him up. Yeah, he's like, were you out there at Chicken and Pickle last year when we had, he was out there with Joe?
Yeah, I was out
Brazilian.
there. Yeah, I was there.
So for those that don't know, the Brazilian influence in that sport is huge. I didn't know that. There's a lot of, it's kind of like Dominican baseball players. There's a lot of Brazilian bull riders. It's become part of the culture down there. There's a lot of cowboys in Brazil. There's a lot of cowboys in South America and Mexico, as people know. But bull riding has gotten massive in Brazil. So all these teams, and a lot of these kids are like Austin, country boys from the South, Americans. But every team's got 2, 3, 4 Brazilians, not Argentinians, not Bolivians. Brazilians. So it's like all these American kids growing up on ranches in Texas, and then these guys from Brazil, and it's broadened everybody's perspective. So I just think from a social aspect, that's been pretty cool to have all these Brazilian guys up here riding with these Texan boys like Austin Richardson, and they get one damn ride a day. They do 3. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday when they go to a different city. And you get one ride a night. You don't get 2. You don't get a do-over unless like there's a rules violation or they open the chute too early and there's a do-over. But outside of that, it's this. You get one ride a night. 8 seconds or not. That's it. It's all you get to help the team. And it's a hell of a lot of pressure. And it's a hell of a tough sport. And, LG and I and Puma went out last year to one of the bull riding ranches in Thrall, Texas, outside of Austin, where I was going to get on the damn bull in the bucking chute. And as soon as my boot made contact with the back of that beast, I was done. As y'all remember, I didn't even have the balls to sit in the chute on top of the damn thing because those things shake. They wiggle in the chute. And I didn't even have a helmet on. These kids all wear helmets. I didn't have a helmet on, and I freaked out. I would rather ride motocross than ride bulls because he said
you can literally see the fear in your eyes.
Yeah,
like the moment it
pale.
hits you, you go white.
Yeah, dude, I turned pale. I was trying to be tough. Here I am all decked out in the damn uniform looking like a jackass.
You look great.
I look like a clown. And then as soon as my boot made contact with the bull and he kind of rustled a little bit, I'm like, no, I'm done. I feel safer riding motocross because I can at least control a motorcycle, even if I wipe out. You can't control that's a beast. That's an animal with a heart and a brain. And no way, man, I just was not going to be able to sit in the chute. And these kids just, got stomped last year and broke my rib, punctured my lung, and got right back on in 6 weeks. No problem. Anyway, so thanks to the gamblers in Austin and thanks to the gamblers for arranging Austin to come on. Okay, it is people I want to punch Wednesday. Brought to you in part by R&R Auto Glass. They are easy to find right by the airport at 281 in Tacoma. They take all insurances. They are locally owned. They are fast. You get in there today and you are out today. And best of all, you get yourself the Taylor Especial. They will give you a discount when you mention old Mikey, all right? And they're locally owned. Did I mention that? I don't mind going into a chain. I'll go to a chain. But if I could put money into a local place, into my local economy, and, as it were, they happen to be the best at what they do doing this stuff, you bet your ass I'm going to go do that. So that's R&R Auto Glass. All right. Today for me, I want to punch myself. This isn't like there's no way I could survive riding a bull because I'm now to that age where I get sore easier. If I do things physically that I'm not used to doing, I find out, and anyone that's young happen to be watching this, you will get here one of these days. I've been told by my elders all my life, you just wait till you get up near 50. You're going to start doing shit that you've never even thought twice about doing. And you're going to wake up sore. Like, what the hell happened? Why am I sore? Oh, it's because I went on that hike yesterday. Your body gets sore as you get older. So I was in a hurry yesterday, and I was feeling fat. because I haven't gone to the gym all week, and I just felt lazy, and so I had like a 20-minute window where I'm like, I'm just going to run down there and do a few things, and I rushed it and did a bunch of pull-ups. I'm pretty good at doing pull-ups, but I rushed it, didn't stretch or nothing. That's another thing. When you get older, you got to stay flexible. Doc Garrett used to preach about this all the time on the radio show. Make sure you stay flexible as you get older. Like Tom Brady. Tom Brady will tell you the number one reason why he played till he was 45 is because he stayed flexible. He stretched like a son of a bitch. I didn't stretch. I just ran down there and just did a shit ton of pull-ups. Yeah, dude, you probably haven't noticed, but I cannot like turn my neck any further than that direction. And I can't, it's a little easier to go that way, but I cannot go to the left more than out. That's about it. I fucked up my shoulders yesterday, my neck muscles doing pull-ups like a jackass in a hurry. It didn't stretch. So punch me for being stupid and forgetting that I'm getting old. How old are you, by the way? You're 40 what?
40. I'm a man.
You're 40.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah, you just turned 40. Have you noticed that you get sorer doing shit that you have never gotten sore before?
That happened when I was like 35. Yeah. Okay. And my whole right side is just deteriorating from holding heavy cameras on my right shoulder.
That's different. That's not from age. That's from holding cameras on your shoulder. That's why we got to get this Love You Hard network rolling, where you and I don't have to do all this shit anymore, and we hire good-looking kids like Austin to do shows and other people to run them. We got to get them cameras off your shoulders, dude. Is it just your right side from holding?
Oh yeah, they don't make left-handed shoulder or cameras.
So
there's no such thing as a left-handed camera.
Seriously?
No.
So if I'm a left-handed guy, I'm just going to have to do it.
You got to deal with it.
There's probably very few left-handed camera guys. Then I'm thinking.
Yeah, they don't bother making those type of cameras.
Well, and you don't want to get used to having to use your right hand because you're left-handed. So even like if you're a left-handed man, you're not going to just pick up that profession because you know, shit, I got to learn how to use my left.
No, you just deal with it. You learn. Just deal with it. Yeah.
It doesn't feel right. I couldn't because I'm right-handed. I can't imagine having a camera on my left shoulder, trying to arm it.
And all the controls are on the other side too.
What does it look like I'm doing right now? Oops. All right, so I'm punching myself for being a dumbass and forgetting that I'm middle-aged. Who are you punching today and why?
I want to punch Elon Musk.
Right in his ugly, weird-looking face. Why?
Yeah, punch him right in the titties.
He probably has them, too.
Oh, he dedefinitely has them. I've seen that beach picture of him where he's all pale.
Oh, yeah,
gross.
yeah. There was a picture. I saw a picture of him on a boat, too, once. He's got chi-chis.
Yeah.
So why are you punching his titties?
Because today he put TweetDeck behind the blue checkmark paywall finally, and that was my preferred way of using Twitter.
Okay.
Or X or whatever the fuck it's called now.
I guess it's X. Yeah. So
yeah,
he put it behind a paywall.
Yeah, it's like a better way of using Twitter. Like you can organize it a lot better.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen TweetDeck?
It's
like a bunch of like columns and stuff. You can organize it really well and schedule tweets.
Yeah, it's like having a bunch of
It's like Twitter Pro, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, he's changed the name of it. It's called X Pro now. And and you have to be paying the whatever he charges for the blue check mark to use it now. It was free before.
Huh.
And it was a third-party app originally, but they bought him out, and now he made it cost money. So F him for making me have to use the regular Twitter app, which is shitty as hell in comparison.
And to be fair to him, he has also done some things that I support, like, championing free speech on Twitter. They don't get butt hurt and ban you for 2 weeks anymore, because there for about a good year before Elon bought X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, back when Jack Dorsey was running that thing years ago, and then even the people that bought it from when Jack Dorsey was no longer the CEO of Twitter, those pussy asses, you know how many Thunder Numbers got kicked off Twitter for 2 weeks suspension because they wrote punch in a tweet?
Yeah, I got flagged for punching all those UTSA kids that were down at spring break during COVID.
You did too.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. A bunch of my and Facebook, by the way, Zuckerberg's still being a puss. Like today, like every morning on Wednesday, I'll post on Facebook, who do you want to punch and why? But I have to put P with asterisks, because if you write punch, Facebook gets upset because you wrote punch. It's a radio bit. It's a YouTube show podcast bit. It's outrageous. And at least Elon has decided to give Twitter its balls back. It's silly again, and I bitch about this all the time. We tend to overcorrect problems in our society, right? Okay, this is a problem. We all agree, but in order to correct it, we just cancel it all, and we just completely go way over here. There's no down the middle anymore. You're either way over here, acting like an idiot, and then they want to, we gotta get that. That's not right. So let's go all the way to the other side. Then all this overcompensation for our problems pisses me off. And I will tell you this, and I know people don't like Elon Musk. He's a polarizing dude. In 100 years, when kids read, if reading still exists in 100 years, about Elon Musk, he will be portrayed as a hero, like an icon. His legacy will be he'll be known as one of the great people of his time. No question. Even though we all know he's weird and kind of a douche.
Well, people who don't know any better think Henry Ford is some kind of hero, but he was a Nazi sympathist.
But he invented the car. So there's give and take. Okay. All right, Thunderdome. Who else wants to do some damn punches? Manuel. I want to punch the assholes at my fiance's job. They fired her and gave her 2 weeks' notice. That's unfortunate.
2 weeks.
Tex Navarro. I know this one is kind of tired, but idiots in cars. The driving flow of traffic going smooth, then car up front brakes for no damn good reason, throws everybody off. So punch the asshole that created a backwash of cars today. Because that pisses me off. People will speed up, they'll pass you, get in front of you, and then slow down. And I've always, there's always some traffic jams get caused in rush hour because so many people are on the road. It's just going to happen. But the problem is 1 in 4 drivers is a dumbass, and they make it way worse, and I totally understand that. Makes you want to do some drinking when you get home, such as Live Oak Vodka. Today, when I get home from a long day selling and hustling for this show, I will no doubt grab my little glass, grab some ice, then grab some of that Live Oak Vodka. I got 2 bottles right now sitting on my counter at home. Pour some of that shit in the glass, about yay much. And then pour a little bit of little club soda in there to give it a little mix up. Speaking of, and Mike Gundy once had, Mike Gundy, another one of his drops we used to have back in the day was put a little vodka in there and it'll taste a lot better. Because he used to come up to his press conferences, Mike Gundy would, and somebody gave him like a cherry limeade from Dairy Queen, and he's drinking a limeade while he's doing his press conference, and somebody just asked him, how's that limeade, Coach? He goes, put a little vodka in it, it'd be a hell of a lot better.
He ain't lying.
Live Oak Vodka. Last year got a 91 score in the Ultimate Spirits Challenge Championship of whiskeys and drinks and liquors and vodkas. At the Ultimate Spirits Challenge, they gave it a 91. It's right there down in Beeville, Texas. That's where they brew it and distill it, down at the Coastal Bend Distilling Company in Beeville, outside of Corpus Christi, Texas. All right, yesterday, my ass whip on Tuesday yesterday was this, one of them anyway, was this story of the Toohey family up in Memphis. So a lot of y'all have probably seen The Blind Side with Austin's own Sandra Bullock. And she played that mom. She was the matriarch of this family up in Memphis that adopted this kid, this huge kid that was living on the street because his family scene was non-existent. They took this kid in. They wound up letting him, at 16 years old, he moved into their house, went to the private school in their swanky neighborhood, and he was a badass high school football player and didn't know it. He just had this physical ability. And with their tutelage, the Tooheys turned him into a really good kid, got him off the street and saved him. And he winds up playing at Ole Miss, Michael Orr, and then he winds up playing for the Baltimore Ravens. And so it's been this feel-good story for 20 years. And then the book comes out, the movie comes out, and all this kind of thing. Well, then we find out yesterday that Michael Orr has filed a lawsuit against the Toohey family, saying that they never actually adopted him. They lied to him. They made him think that they loved him and wanted him to be their son, and they just wanted to exploit his athletic gifts to get money off books and movie deals.
White people.
And he claims that he found out that they never actually adopted him. All they did was trick a young Michael Orr, according to him, into signing over his conservatorship to these people. And they still actually have conservatorship of a lot of his stuff, even though he's now 37 years old. He wants all that back. And so yesterday, I felt bad for Michael Orr. That sounds awful. It's another example of people exploiting young, idiot athletes, taking advantage of them. I shouldn't even call him an idiot. He's just a kid. Well, the Tui family has responded today. Did you see what they said? They say that they're devastated, that Michael is clearly lying, that they love him, that they've never made as much money as he says that they have off the movies and books. And as a matter of fact, they say Michael has tried to extort them for years because he's got money issues. Even though he played for the Ravens for a while, the Tuies are saying, no, we love Mike, but he's had money problems. And in the last couple of years, he's told the Tuies, I need $15 million. And that's the number that he threw out. And if I don't get the $15 million, I'm going to make up a bunch of stories about y'all and put them into the public. And they're like, go right ahead, Michael. First of all, we don't have $15 million. And second of all, anything you say is a lie, so go ahead. They also claim that Michael Orr's tried to sue them in the past multiple times, but he couldn't find out. Once an attorney got to looking at the case, those attorneys told Michael Orr, you don't have a case here. They haven't done anything wrong to you. He finally found a lawyer who's willing to go to court and file a lawsuit. So now it's turned into a massive they said, he said. So shit, I don't know who to believe. Because is it possible Michael Orr does have money issues and is really trying to extort these people for money and is threatening to, make up a bunch of shit about them in public? It could be true. Is it true that they're lying and they really did totally, take advantage of this guy for his money? That could be true too. So God only knows what the hell the real story is. What an ass whip. And the Tui said that Michael's literally trying to shake them down like a mafia member for money. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right, speaking of the kids, we're not trying to exploit nobody on our show. We're trying to help kids. We're a show that likes to help the kids, and we want to help them by sponsoring Soccer Fields, the official soccer club of Thunderdome, and Mike Taylor Live is San Antonio City Soccer Club. And if you had a kid that wants to join soccer and become a player, I can scarcely think of a better place to go play than the San Antonio City Soccer Club, the biggest, most prestigious soccer club in town. They got over 1,500 kids ages 4 to 19, from junior entry-level soccer just for funsies all the way up to highly competitive college-age soccer tournaments and clubs. Those are all had inside the San Antonio City Soccer Club, and we need help for sponsorships. We need sponsorship packages. We need Thunderdomers to step up and help us because they spend a lot of money to make these kids, have a great soccer experience, and it costs a ton of money, so we're trying to get sponsorships for them. We are now 2 out of 6, which is pretty good for a couple of months old. For the last couple of months, we've been trying to get people to help sponsor fields for the new fall season, and we've gotten 2. We need 6 more as soon as possible. If you're interested in asking about sponsoring a field, putting your company's name on a pitch that literally thousands of people will see this fall, jump into my DMs, hit me up on Twitter, whatever it might be, and we'll talk about sponsoring one of these fields. Get your heart right with Jesus and help us help the kids at the San Antonio City Soccer Club. Tony's in here. I just moved into a place, and the landlord and the realtor failed to mention the massive fucking roach problem. So punch the guy that I just bought the house from. Well, God almighty, man. Do roaches come in your house in the summer because it's so hot, or is that a dumbass opinion?
No, they do.
I think it's true.
Yeah, they seek some cooler places, but if you see one, you've definitely got more than one.
Yeah, always if you see one, you need to get something done. It's super hot, so they need cool. And they also need water because it's so dry, too. We haven't had rain in months. And so roaches get into your house because they try to get into your dishwasher. They get into your tub because they need water. And it's disgusting. So I'm sorry you wound up moving into a place like that. But at least you just moved into it so you can get it fixed right away. Tony's in here. Punch all dumbass idiot Cowboys fans who think they actually have a chance to win the Super Bowl. We're going on 30 straight years now of this thing being an underachiever. Yeah, I know. But they're still the cow boss. And no matter what happens, every year we're going to get just as hyped as always for the Cowboys. It is what it is. Which speaking of, we're still looking for sponsors for our Cowboy postgame show too, right, LG? So if you are interested in partnering up with our Cowboy postgame show, nobody else in town is doing a Cowboy postgame show that I know of. Certainly not anybody of note. I'm a cowboy talking sumbitch. I don't brag a lot. I'm a humble guy. I don't usually pat myself on the back, but I will take pride in my cowboy talks. And we want to do some postgaming this year. We're committed to 4 postgame shows out at the Ringer Pub, where we're going to be Friday, as a matter of fact. Friday, we're going to be doing a special edition of Mike Taylor Live at 6 p.m. at the Ringer Pub on Jones-Maltsburg and Thousand Oaks Drive. Probably do some cowboy talking. Come out, watch me do kick-ass Cowboys talk live and in the flesh at the Ringers. We celebrate back-to-school week by giving educators with their badge 15% off your bill that night at the Ringer Pub this Friday night. And we're committed to doing 4 post-game shows at the Ringer, but LG and I are happy to go do, we want to do 17 post-game shows. So if you're interested in helping us with that, we're not just going to throw our Sundays away unless we got a little something for our return. There's a value in our ability to kick ass and do Cowboys talk. Hit me up, slide into my DMs, and we'll talk. All right. Lots of Thunderdomers in here getting punches in. Once again, boy, here's AJ. Punch whoever runs effing Bally Sports. Same old for not having live Rangers games, and punch my dumbass coworkers who don't act like team players. I got a bunch of James Harden types I'm working with. I'm sorry to hear you having a bad week, AJ. Mark, I want to punch my own self right in the face and balls. I drank way too much at the Smashing Pumpkins concert up at the Metro Sex. Had good times, though, but now I'm hungover as shit. Love the Smashing Pumpkins. I'm assuming they're still pretty good live, too, even though those guys are all in their 50s. And Billy Corgan's in decent shape, even though he's in his 50s now. I bet they're still pretty good live. You're probably a little too young for Smashing Pumpkins, probably. Probably was a heavy good day.
I was never a fan of the Smashing Pumpkins. Sorry.
Yeah,
his voice kind of annoyed me a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I get that. I do. You get the music's good. The musicians are great, and he's a great guitar player. But you gotta get it's that emo sounding.
Yeah, I'm very particular with the people's vocal tones that annoy me. Like Eminem has a super annoying vocal tone. It sounds like Porky Pig.
I can't stand Eminem. My name is
I mean a Slim Shady.
Don't like it. Never have liked Eminem.
He's got skills. I'll give him that. He's got skills, but just the tone of his voice is what always annoyed me.
I agree. Shit, I like when it comes to rappers. I like big voice guys. I like Rick Ross. I like Common. I like
a little Charlie Tuna.
I like dudes who have, I don't know what it is. I just like guys with more testosterone in their voice. I like that. I just always like that kind. I don't like high-pitched sounding rappers. Lil Wayne is the one exception. I do like Lil Wayne, and he's got that kind of in-between staccato, but he's really, really good, and his beats are catchy. So I like Lil Wayne, but outside of him, I can't deal with young-sounding dudes. If you sound like you're under 21 years old and your balls haven't dropped, I'm probably not going to enjoy your rap music. All right, speaking of that dude with the roaches in his house, that won't happen if you were looking to get into the real estate business. You work with my mortgage guy, Brad Hardwick. He's going to make sure that your move-in experience is sublime. They're going to go in there and probably spray for insects before they let anybody move in. If you're thinking about upgrading or wondering how much you can afford, call to get pre-qualified. Home values in San Antonio, they have increased significantly in recent years. Use equity in your house to pay off other debt. Put some cash in your pocket. Maybe you're in the market, though, to buy a home. We'll promise there's not going to be any cockroaches in there when you move in. Use our mortgage guy. It is Hardwick Mortgage. If you're looking to buy some land, some acreage somewhere, have you a badass bull ranch like Austin Richardson, Hardwick Mortgage, man. These are the people. The information is presented for informational purposes. This is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Information and or dates are subject to change without notice. All loans subject to credit approval. Other restrictions may apply as a result of refinancing. Your total finance charges may be higher over the life of the loan. Visit hardwickmortgage.com for more information. It is Hardwick Financial Services, Inc., NMLS ID 1972012, hardwickmortgage.com, hardwickmortgage.com. All right, Robert. Punch my coworker who just randomly talks about bullshit about himself. Bro, I don't give a blank. Nobody asked anything about you. You're a Rick with a P. Sean Unch with a P, the person at HEB who thought it was a good idea to stock James Harden's wine in there today. Huh. And he's right. James Harden has wine, and the cover is that outline of his beard and sunglasses.
Apparently, he's sold out in like China, like 10,000 bottles in 10 seconds.
Jeez.
Yeah.
This week?
Like last night or something like that.
Well,
yeah.
He
released it. Yeah.
Good God. Which just goes to show, no matter how much of a jackass a guy is, a team fucking killer, if he's famous and he's got a niche, people eat that shit up because
celebrity booze is the ultimate grift.
For sure. Yeah, no question. You know, I don't hate Casamigos. Isn't that the George Clooney one?
I guess.
But what do these people know? They don't know shit about. They just want to put their name on something, you know?
Yeah, I think it's more of like a licensing deal.
It doesn't mean they know anything about distilling or whiskey or booze or anything like that. Pretty goofball. So anyway, all right, so that's it. That's that. Thank you to Austin Richardson. We're on to our last bit of the day. All right, it is indeed time for Taylor Trash, brought to you by Hank the Realtor from Vortex Realty, serving all of San Antonio and the surrounding hinterlands, north, south, east, and west. There's a shortage of homes, as we talked about. If you're thinking about selling, get a free market analysis from our guy, Hank the Realtor at Vortex Realty. Find out what your property's worth. Hank will run the comps on your property, tell you what it's worth before you make your decision to get into the market and sell. It is our guy, Hank the Realtor from Vortex Realty. Text him your information at 300-1121. It is 300-1121. If you need a real estate agent, call Hank.
His name is Hank.
All right, having Austin on reminds me of the few interactions I've ever had with horses and cows and bulls and shit. You ever been around horses? I'm gonna go with no.
Not
you ever
really.
ridden one?
No, hell no. No, I have a fear of riding animals. I'd probably ride a camel over a horse. I have less fear of a camel than a horse.
I've ridden camels at the circus years ago, back when there were circuses, before the communist liberal heathens took over and got circuses outlawed and can't exploit animals anymore and take advantage of them for our human endeavors. Every year the Ringling Brothers would come to Fort Worth, and Grandma Becky would take us up there early, and I got to ride on the back of a camel and an elephant. I've ridden on elephants too.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that either. Yeah.
Dude, no. Those animals are so drugged up. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They just know that they're walking in a circle 1 mile an hour, and they know at the end of the circle they're going to get a peanut or a hunk of hay or whatever the hell they're eating. I've been around horses a little bit. I've never interacted with a bull till last year up at the bucket. And when I got into the bucket to shoot, I was almost shit my pants.
Yeah, you can see the exact moment when a little
sharded.
Bit came out.
Yeah. We may have to repost that today just because we had Austin on. We have to go out and retweet that video of my dumb ass. So when I was young, Grandma Becky, when she first started dating stepdad Ernest, you know, he had a sister who lived in Sweetwater, Texas. Sweetwater. And so we'd go out to Sweetwater once or twice a year in those days, and they would throw my dumb little city Mexican ass up on a horse. And they would make like one of the other teenagers or whatever that was there, like get up there with me and ride with me when I'm probably 5, 6, 7 years old. And I got used to it, and then I'll never forget one time. Her name was BJ. They named their daughter BJ. You know I'm not lying because you can't make that shit up. So she's like, I think you can handle this by yourself. I'm like, I don't know if I can. I'm 5, you know. I'm like, I don't know if I can. She's like, oh, she probably just wanted to go run off and go give a BJ to her boyfriend or something. She didn't want to be out there with me. She was ass whipped because her mom made her go out there and ride that horse with Mike. So we're out there, and she's like, I think you'll be fine by yourself. This is an old horse. He's just going to walk around a little bit. She taught me how to turn it, and make it stop. She didn't teach me how to back it up. Just go forward, left, right, stop. BJ taught me all the tactics of horse riding. It's a whole different thing when you got somebody up there with you, though, and then they leave you when you're 5. So she hops off and hightails it out of there. And I start fucking with the reins, just trying to get him to do shit. And, of course, I did something wrong, and he starts trotting with me. He takes off. Trotting. And for a 5-year-old kid from the barrio in Fort Worth, Texas, he might as well have been sprinting like a frickin' racehorse. And I start screaming my ass off. Help, 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 screaming, crying. And it only made the horse more scared because now he's got this crying-ass kid on his back. And so finally my idiot mom, who was doing God knows what, noticed me out there in the pasture and made Ernest come running out there to get me. And I was literally probably within 15, 20 seconds of that horse, because those horses, when they realize they got somebody on them that are scared, especially a kid, they don't like it. That damn thing was probably about to buck my stupid ass off. And I'm 5. I weigh about 39 pounds. And he would have bucked my ass 40 feet. And thank God Ernest got out there and got a hold of his reins just as I was about to get bucked like a jackass. And I was scared of horses from then on. Had that damn country girl named BJ not left me on that horse, I probably would have fallen in love with horses and been good at riding them. But I had a fear of those things the rest of my life. One of my 11-year-old twins rides horses, and so I've not been around horses in years since I was a kid. She likes to ride horses. So in recent years, I found myself at stables and stuff and kind of being around them. I haven't gotten on their backs or nothing, but I watched her do that as a little bitty old kid, about 3 feet tall out there riding these big-ass beasts. I've slowly gotten over my fear of them, but it's still a healthy respect, and that's why, because I got left alone by a girl named BJ in Sweetwater, Texas in 1979 on the back of a fucking horse. All right. That's a capper to the Austin Richardson show. Thank you to the gamblers. Thank you to Austin Richardson for having him on. Thank you to Austin himself. Good luck next week in Austin, but good luck this weekend in Nashville as the official PBR team of Thunderdome. The Austin Gamblers get ready to do their business this week in Nashville, led by Austin and Jose and all them boys. That's it. We're done. Thank you to Austin. Thank you to DJ LG. See you boys in here tomorrow for Fart Drop Thursday. Love you hard. Her name was BJ. It's not a lie.
Come back, you puppy!
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.